This is real occult, where we apply numerology and astrology to the material world. Today we are talking about why so many people believe in, follow, listen to, check out, are interested in numerology and astrology in the first place. So, we're going to try to keep this short and sweet. All I know and all I can tell you is why I believe in numerology and astrology. Basic cause and effect. So if 200 years ago, before mass preservatives were being used, the food that you ate was being grown by the sun, and that sun, depending on where it is in the seasons, in the year, has a different intensity. In the summer, that sun is super, super hot. So if you're eating fruits and things that are being grown during the summer, ripening up during the summer, when the sun's super, super hot, that's going to be different than eating something that was, just sprouting super early spring when the sun is much less intense. And so you eat that food, and now as a male, you regenerate sperm cells on a weekly basis. You don't hold on to them for years at a time. You're constantly regenerating new sperm cells. The sperm you are generating is being developed under the hormones and chemicals and chemical reactions from the food that you ate that was being grown under wherever the sun was at that point in time in the seasons, in the cycle. Depending on when you were conceived, had an influence on how you turned out based on the intensity of the chemical reactions and kinds of chemical reactions that were occurring. And after thousands and thousands of years, people started to track these patterns, developed a way of communicating what these energies are using the planets and in numerology numbers to associate energies like playful energy, 3. And then if you go to the roots of numerology, Pythagoras, I believe, whatever that dude's name is. I can't remember his name. It's been a minute, but very, very interesting when they started assigning and discovering energies that these numbers were associated with. Anyways, basic cause and effect. So when I'm, this is going back over a decade. When I'm in high school, I'm sitting at the table, I'm reading all the birth chart stuff, doing them for my family. I'm like, oh, this is super, super cool. And then throughout the years, reading a couple articles here, a couple things there, looking up someone's information every now and then, bam! When I'm in my mid-20s, my grandpa has a stroke, ends up on hospice. Long story short, ends up on hospice. I start becoming a caretaker for him, taking care of him every day because he's completely bedridden, so he needs help, changing his clothes and getting food and drink because he can't get out of the bed, and then working the remote's tough, and so he needs help. And all of a sudden, I'm just thrown into this obsession with numerology and astrology and how all of these things are just aligning perfectly with the charts. And then you start looking at the alignment with everyone else in the family, all 5 members, and it's like, wow, you can literally describe this entire emotional experience that each one of us had individually through all, and it's like, whoa, mind-blowing. So it convinced me, full-blown, full belief at this point in time. So instead of just tinkering around and half-hearted believe in it. I start believing it legit, start talking to a bunch of other people, spending over a year, talking to people about their numbers, figuring out their energies, talking to this person about this, what's their experience here. And at the time, I'm working with people with their posture. So that's like, oh man, depending on your energy with your tendency, these people tend to have different nuances with their posture. Holy moly, I wasn't into Vedic astrology at the time to be able to figure out what their charts were, but I'm like, oh man, at this point in time now, I'm like, I bet you can see why I already know you have tendencies based on your first house sign and planet placement and everything like that. But tendencies with how their posture is being compressed based on Saturn placements, I would be super interested to see. I digress. But so the reason, wrap this whole thing up and I'll finish it here. The reason so many people like myself believe in and use numerology and astrology is because by becoming more aligned with the natural energies you are blessed with, your natural gifts and talents, you can begin to move the percentages of success, which simply is getting the results that you want, into your favor. If there's a 50-50 chance and you apply numerology and astrology to the equation, you might be able to tip it 56 your way, 56-44. So you're more likely to win. Doesn't guarantee a win, but you're more likely to win. If you have listened this far, I genuinely appreciate it. If you have any questions, you can send me an email at Tristan, Tristan, at realoccult, realoccult.com. Or we do have a free community. We just started. school.com/realoccult. School.com, school with a K, school.com/realoccult. Free community. Hop in there. You can get a reading for free and interact and learn with other people interested in numerology and astrology. So with that said, I genuinely appreciate you listening, and I will talk to you again soon.